What's up? Welcome to the kitchen. So for shot 108, it's the car exploding. And I actually have everything cut out for it, for the explosion, all the different colors and everything. But then I got an idea to use good old cotton balls, or absorbent puffs, as they're called here, to use that as the explosion. Because I think it would look cool. It's been a while since I've had like one of those really kind of eye-catching, different kind of shots. And I thought this could be the one, because an exploding car is pretty cool. So I've got some orange and yellow paint that I'm going to use to dye the absorbent puffs. And I've never done this before, so it's going to be kind of a work in progress. So I figured I'd show you the steps just in case you want to dye some absorbent puffs. Because really, who doesn't? I know I've always wanted to. Today's the big day. All right, kids, are you excited? Hey, Lilo, are you excited? Yeah, she is. All right, kids, let's see how to make these dyed absorbent puffs. Right here. Pop! So one thing already, as I was taking some of the puffs out, I found some old clouds that I had made that were still in the bag. And I figured they might look cool too, to kind of get dyed and have like more of an explodey vibe. So essentially what I've got going on here is I've separated, these are going to be the orange ones, these are going to be the yellow ones. I feel like this might be either way too much or not enough. So we'll find out what it is. These are going to be dyed orange, and this will be yellow with the rest of the stuff. Okay, it's a couple days later, and the absorbent puffs are a failure. They're too pale, and I put some like more paint on them to try to darken them up, but all that did was kind of make them difficult to stretch apart. And so I'm going to keep them around because they might be able to help out in certain like areas of the explosion, but I'm going to do something different. I've got some ink here. And from the other things I've watched, they said if that didn't work, you didn't dig it, get some ink. And I've got the absorbent puffs right here. And you'll notice some scissors over here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half, because I found that before they were also a little bit too big. And I'd have to end up taking them apart anyway, so I may as well start cutting them up, add the ink, and then we'll see where we go from there. So all right, let's check that out. Right. Meow. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add in the ink right here. That's why I'm wearing the gloves again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I am just gonna let these awesome orange looking ones just kind of hang out. Let them absorb for a couple hours probably. And then I'm going to wring them out, and hopefully enough of that orange ink has locked itself in to those absorbent puffs. And then I'll do the rest. I didn't want to do it all at once in case it doesn't work and I gotta do something else. This shot, honestly, I probably should have just left it with the cutouts that I have. It would have been done by now, I can tell you that. But I just think this can look really cool. And if it doesn't look really cool, I learned something, and I can just use the cutouts I already have cut out. All right, what do you think, Lilo? Yeah? That's what she thinks. All right, I'll check back with you when I'm wringing these out. This is going on for a while. I apologize. I didn't realize it was going to be so long. Accept my apology. Yeah, okay. So I have let them sit like for hours and hours and hours. They looked super duper orange and awesome, but then when I squeezed them out, they kind of, once again, lost a lot of their orangeness. I don't understand these absorbent puffs. I thought they would really soak it in and keep it in, but they really lose a lot of it, and I don't know how to get them to really hold that orange. But this is what we've got. We're going to work with this, see how it looks. I might just end up using the cardstock anyway if this cannot turn out okay or look as good as I hoped it would look. And yeah, we'll see what we got. I'm still stoked. So I think it will still look better with the explosion of the absorbent puffs, but we'll see. So let's move on to the next step, which will be down in the studio with us setting this up. Finally. Yep. Super quick thing here. I realized the problem was the water. I should have just used the ink, even though it probably would have been the entire thing of ink, hands down. But the water diluting the ink and then the puffs absorbing so much water along with the ink, when you squeeze it out, you got to squeeze out a lot of the moisture, and a lot of that moisture was water, and it pulled the ink out with it. So we're going to see, I squeeze a little bit more ink on the puffs that are drying just to see if maybe, because the other ones turned out pretty orange actually. So now I'm wondering why. And we'll find out, but if not, I might just get another thing of ink, pour it all in, mix it all up, and see if that does it. I don't know. This has been crazy. Either way, learning a lot. Hands in for learning. Woo! Okay, so we are back in the studio finally, about to start setting up shot 108. But here, look, check this out. So these are the original ones. Like pretty orange, but kind of pale, and also very, you can't really pull them apart or move them because the paint kind of solidified them. Now here's the new ones. They look a lot more fiery and multicolored. I actually did another pass with some drips of ink on them to let them dry. And so between the two, this looks like an explosion happening right in there right now. But these ones could also really come in to fill in the nice spots. And I've got the yellow ones here, got some orange on them to kind of help them blend in and stuff. And then all the other stuff is in this bag here. So about to start putting this together. Holy moly, I can't wait to do this. I hope these absorbent puffs work. Hands in for absorbent puffs working. Hands in! Putting together the set right now. As you can see, this is the car. Here's the trunk that blows off of it. It's removable. And but you can see it's pretty naked because in the actual shot, there's a lot of trees, shrubs, and bushes. Luckily, we also have trees, shrubs, and bushes by the fistful. And so I'm going to dig into this and set them all up and make it look awesome. And I've got to say, I'm pretty stoked that I took the time to make all of those because now I don't really have to make any more trees, shrubs, or bushes because of it. And it always comes in handy. And also, actually, this car here, for some reason, I didn't make it. So I went to the vehicles envelope bag, and fished it out of there, and it worked perfect. The exact size I needed. So awesome. Reuse things, kids. Reuse. And recycle. Okay, so here's what we got going now. All the trees, shrubs, and bushes have been added in. And one thing, I didn't tape anything down because that kind of would have been very awkward thing. It just would have been weird. So I'm going to put glass over top of all of this here. Just squish it down because I was like, oh, I don't have to really move too much, but I have to move that whole explosion over top of everything. And so I feel having the glass will hopefully help that. Hopefully it won't make too many shadows. But even the shadows I think are going to help with the explosion anyway. So anywho, let's get to this. Gonna be the explosion, kids. I am stoked. Are you stoked? Here we go, explosion. Okay, we finally started getting stuff going. The first 4 frames are just the car sitting there. But then frame 5 looks like that. You can obviously see the little bit of fire coming out. And then what we got here, boom, little bit of fire coming out. And a whole lot more fire to go through when we need it. So here we go. We're getting into it. I'm super stoked that we're finally doing the explosion. And I really hope it turns out cool. Because if not, I'm going to go back to just the cutouts. And I could have not done any of this. But I did learn a lot. So here we go, kids. Pause in for the sploge. So after many failed attempts at trying to make absorbent puffs look like an explosion, I finally got some that looked good. And I did this first try. And it looked okay, but not perfect. And so then I tried it again the second time, and it finally worked. And I learned a lot doing this, and it was quite an experience. Okay, so here's the thing. I have already done the explosion. You can see it here. You see it there on the screen. And it turned out pretty good. I'll show you what it looked like. But I don't love it. And also, idiot I am, I didn't put the plastic wrap back over the lens to give it that like standard definition feel. So it all kind of works out because I was going to redo it anyway. I learned a lot from the last time. But yeah, I think this next one's going to be a lot better. So I kind of learned from a day, and I'm going to put what I learned into practice here. And here comes Lilo the cat. Hi. Yes. So anyway, she's going to supervise it this time so I don't screw it up. And all right, so here we go. Take 2 of the explosion. Kapow! Yeah, okay. Shot 108. We finally got it done. Take 2. So all right, so this is what we want to look like. Kaboom! The trunk goes flying up like that. And here's what we've got here. Kaboom! And the trunk goes flying up like that. And here, if you want to see take 1, let's do this here. This was take 1. And you see, it all kind of like moves weird and just kind of looks like a bunch of buns, really. And then our new one here, boom, kind of swirls around and I think looks pretty dope. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the cardstock would have been better? I have them cut out right over there. Just in case, before I thought about doing the absorbent puffs, but it took a long time, but I think it's radical. I hope you think it's radical. Let's explode to shot 109. Come on!